longer the starting quarterback of the New York Football Giants in what seems like it has been forever, as the Giants have benched Eli Manning. Well, did they really? There's a little bit more that goes into it, but I will get into that and much more about Eli and the Giants and what this situation means for both Eli Manning and the New York Giants. And did they make the right move in benching one Eli Manning? What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video, talking some NFL here to talk about, of course, the Eli Manning benching situation. So there are a lot of layers here, folks, but so I'm going to try to get to it as quickly and as effectively as I can, because I don't want people to lose the main point that I'm trying to make here. So let's get right into it. First thing I want to address before I get into my whole spiel about Eli and whether or not this was the right move by the Giants is, did they really bench Eli Manning? Technically, yes, but really there's also another layer to this, which is the Giants know about Eli Manning's start streak, which is, what, 210 games now. It's the second longest in NFL history. He hasn't missed a start in, what, 210 games, and that is only second to Brett Favre. And they told Eli they would continue to start him, but they would give Geno Smith and Davis Webb, their other quarterbacks, playing time as well. So Eli would essentially be taken out of the game, and to which Eli Manning thoroughly declined. He said, hell no. If you're going to basically take me out the game, just don't start me at all and play the other guys if you want. Now, of course, Eli probably, I'm sure, did not agree with the decision, but that is what they decided, and that is what he said. He was trying to be a good teammate and whatnot, and I get all of that. So let's get now into the situation of the actual benching and whether or not it was the right move by the Giants. I saw a lot of backlash, especially on Twitter. By the way, don't follow me on Twitter. Link down below for that. On Twitter, about this benching from former football players, from former Giants players, current analysts, and a bunch of other people, like I said, sports media personalities and whatnot, and just, you know, fans as well. And everybody, especially New York Giant fans, were outraged about this benching, about Eli being a good soldier, and, you know, he's done everything right for every time in his career, and for the entirety of his career, he's been a good soldier for the Giants, and he's, you know, always been there, and he's the first guy in the locker room, last guy out, you know, all of that, and I get that. And Eli Manning has been a consummate professional for sure, okay? He's somehow, even though he's not the biggest guy, he's not the fastest, quickest, nothing about Eli Manning exudes physical, you know, stature or physical brilliance, but he's been able to be the Giants quarterback and been starting every single game. So he definitely, if perfect attendance matters in the NFL, and it does, Eli Manning has had perfect attendance, and I get all of that. And Eli Manning is a low drama, low key, aloof, keeping to himself type of guy, so he has not caused any sort of antics within the Giants and whatnot. But this is all about football, folks, so let's not get anything twisted here. The Giants are not attacking Eli Manning's character or saying he's not been, you know, a good professional for our team. He's not doing this, he's not doing that. No, this is basically the Giants saying, we just got eliminated from the damn postseason. Not the postseason. We just got eliminated from making to the postseason. And this is a lost season, okay? So we need to see what the hell do we have with these other guys, because Eli's always going to be there. He's always been there. And we know what we have with Eli. And clearly, this season has been a mess for the Giants, okay? So the first things first is, this is just about football. Why do you want to put Eli out there for meaningless games? Now, if it's just about pride and the streak, I get that. But really, they're meaningless games. There's no reason to put Eli out there. That's number one. Number two, we all know the Giants season has been an absolute mess, okay? When they got Brandon Marshall in the offseason, everybody thought, oh my God, the Giants, including myself, were going to be the top contenders in the NFC, and it has been nothing close to that. It's been an absolute disaster now. To the Giants' credit, or I should say, the Giants really had some injury luck with Brandon Marshall going out, and then OBJ with his serious injury. But other parts of the Giants have fallen apart as well. No running game. I know Orleans Darkwa came on late, but really there's been no running game all year. Paul Perkins was a huge bust. And then the defense, they started off hot and then completely just collapsed at the latter part of the season. And then you talk about, like I mentioned, the receiving core. And then you talk about the O-line, which has been suspect at best. Like I said, this team has holes everywhere that they need to address. Eli was definitely the least of their problems. So here's the thing. Eli Manning, you don't need to put him out there for these meaningless games because you're already, even though Eli has had to compare his career, just a Eli type of year, maybe a little bit worse than that. Eli Manning, why do you want to make him look worse? Because he has no help around him, right? So his play is, of course, going to suffer because he has no weapons. And then you can basically say, oh my God, Eli Manning played so bad this year. Well, he really didn't have anyone around him. So that's really the point that I'm trying to make here with the Giants is a lot of people are saying, oh, this is not what Eli Manning deserves. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. I love Eli Manning, folks, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's about now. It's about the future. The NFL, every sport, every league, it's like this. It's a young man's game. You're always looking for the next guy. You're always looking for tomorrow. You're always looking for the future. And Eli Manning has been great. He's been amazing for the Giants. Got them 2 Super Bowls. Thank you, Eli Manning, because he won them over the Patriots and Tom Brady, just saying. But the thing is, that was back in 2007 and 2011. It is 2017, and you need to see what you have with your roster. And here's the thing. This does not mean Eli Manning cannot be the Giants starting quarterback next year. I know a lot of people are saying that. And while I do agree there's a very good chance he could choose to move on, hey, if you're Eli Manning, why not? Your brother did it. Peyton went to the Broncos and won a Super Bowl. It's not the worst thing in the world to go to a different team. Eli Manning with the Jacksonville Jaguars or with the Denver Broncos would look a hell lot better, and he would have a whole lot more success with those two teams because right now the Giants roster is not even comparable to those two teams, okay? So Eli Manning, if I was him, I would definitely look at other options just because, like I said, where are the Giants going? Ben McAdoo, he's been a mess this year as well. He's done one of the worst coaching jobs in the NFL this year. So my point being is, again, this is not about Eli Manning getting the short end of the stick because he's been the starting quarterback and he deserves to be there. This is just about seeing the future. And Eli Manning never gets hurt, so you would never see how Davis Webb looks. I know Geno Smith, I'll get into that real quickly here, but you'd never see these other quarterbacks because Eli never gets hurt. Now, back to the other point, Geno Smith starting is the one thing that I do have an issue with. Why the hell are you starting Geno Smith when you know what Geno Smith is? Okay, we all know Geno Smith is not that guy. He is not a franchise quarterback, folks. He's not the answer, pretty much. Okay, Davis Webb, I don't know. Nobody knows. But you at least have some realistic, optimistic sort of feel for him. There's a chance he could be good. I'm not saying he will be, but again, there's a chance. Unlike Geno Smith that we know he is not good. And so I don't understand that move by Ben McAdoo of why the hell Geno Smith is starting. I would have started Davis Webb instead. But that's really the only issue I have here. I don't want to make it seem like I'm hating on Eli because I'm not. And Giant fans, if you're watching, I want you guys to respond. Tell me what you guys think about this because honestly, look at your team and look at the team moving forward, okay? Do you want to, be a team that is heading in the direction that it's heading, or do you want to rebuild and start over, okay? There are pros and cons to everything, but Phillip Rivers in San Diego and LA now, I know the Chargers have been hot lately, but he hasn't done squat in his career, and they've been mediocre all his career, and they've just been content with it. Do you want to be content like that, or do you want to rebuild and maybe, start a potential powerhouse, You have some pieces in place, you just need to add to it. So that's something that the Giants have to decide, but basically, that's my point here, folks. I think a lot of people are overreacting to this. Will Eli Manning move on next year? Who knows? My guess is he should, and he definitely could. But I also think there's a realistic chance that he could come back to the Giants. Let's see what happens. But like I said, this is more about looking at the future. This has nothing to do with Eli Manning. There's no reason to play him in these meaningless games, folks. This is actually something where you're respecting the veteran because you don't want him to play in these meaningless games. If Eli wants to play just for a start streak, I get that. They offered him that. He turned it down. So let's see what happens moving forward. But I am not in favor of Geno Smith starting. I don't think he should be the starter. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to subscribe down below. Give us a thumbs up. Follow me on my social media. Link down below for that as well. And as always, thank you for watching. I'm out.